Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. So, we always hear about the old guys catching up to Tesla in EV sales. So far, we have yet to see that. In 2022, Tesla grew their lead in the EV race. Even the big, mighty Volkswagen Group fell further behind in 2022. Only BYD was able to gain on Tesla in terms of unit sales. But while most analysts are looking at the EV race and thinking the old boys will soon catch up, and Tesla's EV market share is shrinking, well, they forget to look at the overall car market, where Tesla, quietly, is the one that is catching up, and will already this year overtake one of the giants in Germany. And to the people that say EVs doesn't work, nobody wants EVs, well, just look at the top 5 list of the world's best-selling cars in 2022 and you will see that EVs is already here. So let's check it all out and let's dive right in. So let's start by looking at the top 10 list of best-selling cars in the world in 2022. So not EVs, but cars. Number 1, Toyota Corolla, a nice car, so of course it's down 2.2%. Number 2, also Toyota, but their RAV4, ICE and hybrid, so of course down 13.8%. Number 3, Ford's F-150 series, still about 90% ICE cars, so of course down 8.8%. And number 4, only 28,000 behind the F-150, US best-selling vehicles for 41 years, is the all-electric Tesla Model Y, and it's up 88%. Yes, Tesla had the 4th best-selling car model in the world. So for anyone to say no one wants EVs because they're not good enough are simply good old wrong. There are more people that want a Model Y than a Toyota Camry or Chevrolet Silverado or Ram pickup truck. And the list shows it pretty well that the old ICE models here on this list are either down or pretty stagnated in growth, while the only EV on the list is up 88%. So I don't think any of these models on this list will grow this year except the Model Y. That will probably grow something like 60 to 70% and sit on the very top of this list in 2023, showing the world that the most wanted car in the world has become an EV, and not the old, outdated, inferior, polluting, non-updatable car of the past, the ICE car. EVs are the future, but the future is already here. But so many people still think the old guys will catch up to Tesla, even though everything shows us Tesla is pulling further away. Like if we look at Europe, where I live, and the place the critics have been saying Tesla would fail because of all the competition. Well, just look at this chart. As you can see, Volkswagen is down in 2022 in their EV sales in Europe. So that's very bad. So they did not gain on Tesla, they fell further behind. But look at all the rest on this list and their 2022 numbers that you can see here in yellow. No one, and I repeat, no one sold in 2022 as many EVs in Europe as Tesla did in 2020. And Tesla will grow much faster in 2023 in Europe than what they did in 2022. So that does not bode well for the old guys in Europe. But while everyone is focusing on Volkswagen or Audi will catch up to Tesla's sales, they seem to forget that Tesla is rapidly the one that is actually catching up to their ICE sales. And 2023 will be the year that Tesla will not only gain or catch up to one of the biggest car brands in Europe, but overtake them with quite a bit. And that will be good old Audi. And Audi themselves were out saying that they would catch up to Tesla and do it fast just 2 years ago. Back in 2020, Bavaria's Prime Minister, a state in Germany, Markus Söder, and Audi CEO Markus Duschmann discussed if Tesla had beaten the Germans in the electric car run. And according to Duschmann, Audi is catching up with 7-mile boots. Just meaning that catching up very, very fast. He also said that he does not see Tesla with any lead in what relates to lithium technology. This is the same argument he used when he says that Tesla does not have anything to make it stand out of the competition and anyone can create a similar battery pack. The confidence is shared by Söder, who claims to be a great admirer of Elon Musk. Regardless, he thinks other cars can offer what Tesla vehicles do and the German engineering can stay ahead of the competition. So they thought only back in 2020 that they would soon catch up to Tesla. It's just a matter of time. Well, here we are in 2023, and looking back at the sales numbers in Europe of the Audi's EVs, well, they have not even caught up to Tesla's 2020 numbers, as I just said. So even if Tesla stopped all their ramp and has done nothing for 2 years, Audi would not even have caught up. Tesla has added over 100,000 units to its sales in 2022 in Europe to about 192 units, up from 90 units. Audi was only able to produce and deliver about 72,000 units in all of 2022 in Europe from all of its 14 different EV models. So Audi's combined sale in 2022 of all their 14 different models did not sell as many units as just one of Tesla's models in Europe, like the Model Y or the Model 3. Both of these cars sold more units than all of Audi with their 72,000 units of BEV sales. Quite embarrassing coming out with these big, bold claims to the public and being so confident about it, and then just see Tesla destroying you in the EV race. Not even close, and it's pulling further and further away every year that ticks by. But Lars, you're only looking at Europe. What about China globally? Well, I am just doing Audi a favor, as globally Tesla is 11 times bigger than Audi's BEV sales. So on a global stage, Audi's EV sales are just a rounding error on Tesla spreadsheets. At least in Europe, Tesla's unit sales are only 2.6 times higher than Audi's. So on a global scale, the race is already over, but this is where the other race people sometimes forget is actually going on, because so many analysts and automotive experts didn't believe this would even be possible. That Tesla is actually the one catching up to Audi, not the other way around. Of course, not as an EV maker, but as an automaker. And this year, 2023, will be the year that we will see Tesla not only catch up, because Tesla has been doing that for the last couple of years, but no, they will overtake Audi as an automaker. Tesla's own target is 1.8 million vehicles in 2023, but they do have a production capacity about 2 million, as Elon said, but I would even say that is on the low side when we look at the ramp in Berlin and Texas. My prediction is more like 2.2 million in 2023, but no matter if it will be 2.2 or 1.8 million cars sold, Audi delivered 1,614,000 models worldwide in 2022, which were down 3.9% from previous year. So Tesla grew 40%, which was a miss, and Audi was down 4%. And even though Audi's EV grew 42.8% in 2022, they are still just a blip on Tesla's radar, and Audi has already been beaten in the US car market by Tesla, as Tesla was the best-selling premium automaker in the US in 2022. But in 2023, I cannot see Tesla dropping below 1.6 million in deliveries. Not even Wall Street believes that. They are at about 1.75 million for Tesla in 2023. And Audi will probably fall even lower, as demand for the ICE cars are dropping faster than their growth of the EV production. In 2022, they dropped about 67,000 units, even though their BEV grew with about 19,000 units. So I actually expect Audi to go below 1.6 million in 2023. And Tesla will be at least at 1.8 million units, probably 2 million is more likely. So Tesla will not only be overtaking Audi in 2023 by a little margin, they will probably sell more than 20% as many cars in 2023 as Audi will. And Tesla already beats Audi in revenue in 2022 with Tesla's $81.5 billion. I don't have Audi's numbers yet for 2022, but the year before, in 2021, Audi made $62 billion in revenue, and in the first half of 2022 they only increased their revenue by 2%. So I don't think they're suddenly gonna jump up to $81 billion while dropping 4% in unit sales. So from a financial standpoint, Tesla has already overtaken Audi as an automaker. But this year Tesla will seal the deal and taking the last numbers from Audi, the unit sales, while still earning about 4 times as much in profits per car than Audi does. Even compared to Audi's ICE sales, Tesla earns more money on EVs than Audi does on ICE cars. So much for Toyotas and Stellantis screaming about EVs can never be profitable. So combine that with the Model Y on the top 10 list we just saw that is growing rapidly, is a very big concern for Audi, or it should be, as the Tesla Model Y is highly likely to be the best-selling car of any kind in Europe and the world here in 2023. Berlin will probably produce about 350,000 units all on its own, and the best-selling car in Europe, the Golf, only sells about 200,000 units a year. So even if Tesla makes a big miss and only delivers something like 250,000 units in Europe, it will still by far be the best-selling car. So the Tesla Model Y is no longer just the best-selling EV, it is one of the best-selling cars, period, and will eat into some of the ICE sales in Europe from the German automakers that are not keeping up with the EV demand, which in 2022 in Europe was already about 18%. And when it comes to Audi, the Model Y could not be a worse car for Tesla to scale up to extreme numbers, as the SUV market stands for about 39% of all Audi's sales, and that is exactly the market the Tesla Model Y will dig into. But Audi is not only getting beaten by Tesla on its unit sales now, it is getting hit on all fronts by Tesla, as Tesla is speeding up and getting close to their full self-driving beta software as well, while Audi is pushing almost everything back, like the Artemis program. And what is the Artemis program, you might ask? Well, let's hear what Audi said about it when they announced it. Artemis will focus on new technologies for electric, highly automated driving with a specific model reference. Its first task is to create a highly efficient electric car that is scheduled to be on the road as early as 2024. The creative team will also develop an extensive ecosystem around the car, thus designing a new business model for the entire use phase. But those plans were pushed out to 2026, and now they have been pushed out to no earlier than 2030. So no car you will buy from Audi today will ever be able to have autonomous driving or anything close to it. But if you buy a Model Y today, it might be able to drive itself within a couple of years. And when it comes to software in general, we can hardly compare these two cars. Just look at this old school and outdated user interface from Audi's Q4 that can't even find the charging stations anymore because of software bugs. And Audi, of course, does not have any charging stations themselves. It is all third parties, or Tesla's chargers in many places here in Europe. So you of course also have to have a third-party app to use the chargers and so on. Tesla has its own charging network, and the car knows where all these chargers are and how many are being used, and redirect you to another one if this one is getting full, and you can see on the screen what it costs and much more. A very big difference in user experience right here. So here Tesla stands out when it comes to software, like a grizzly bear in a shopping mall. There are no comparison between Audi's buggy software and Tesla's integrated software that gets new features all the time and can entertain you with Netflix, YouTube, Disney Plus, and a lot of games and much more. The Audi does not entertain you, not even while driving. Not compared to the Tesla anyway. The Q4 e-tron 50 Quattro, their beast, does a 0 to 100 in 6.2 seconds. Their most exciting Q4 is about as fast as Tesla's slowest model they have, and the Tesla Model Y performance is about $8,500 cheaper than the Q4 e-tron 50 Quattro. And even though it takes about twice the amount of time to get to 100 kilometers an hour, it still also has less range. So it really shows us just how much more inefficient Audi's electric cars are, even though Audi said Tesla had no advantages. So why are your EVs so inferior, one might ask? And if we take a look at the most boring of the Q4 Sportsback e-tron, that is the most similar model to the Model Y, that does a 0 to 100 in 9 seconds with a 55 kilowatt hour battery, so the same size battery as in the standard range Model Y that does a 0 to 100 in 6.9 seconds, well, the efficiency cannot be hidden. The Q4 has 346 kilometers of WLTP range, while the Model Y standard range have a 430 kilometers WLTP range. So still faster, up to 100 kilometers an hour, still more top speed, but at the same time it gives you about 85 kilometers or 52 miles more range. And on top of this, you can of course charge your Tesla up much faster. The standard range has only 170 kilowatts charging, but the Q4 only has 110 kilowatts. So the Tesla will charge maybe something like 35% faster, also because it can preheat the battery, which the Audi cannot. But when Tesla is done charging 35% faster, it also got about 25% more range. Yeah, but the Audi Q4 still cost more as the Model Y standard range. We don't know by how much anymore, as you can't even order the Q4 35e e-tron anymore. And Audi does not expect to have it available before summer 2024. No wonder that many people, like people I know, have waited 1.5 years for the Q4 e-tron here in Denmark, and then it got pushed back again to autumn this year. Well, they just cancelled their order of the e-tron and bought a Model Y instead, as they can get it within a month, as demand far outpaces supply by Audi. But Audi cannot do what Tesla did in 2021 or 2022 and raise their prices. That will just be suicide with Tesla's somewhat affordable prices now. So Tesla beats Audi's EVs on every single spec you can think of, including software, charging network, and making the experience of owning an EV much better with the Tesla than with an Audi. And Tesla is the more affordable choice. Yeah, the so-called Tesla killer, as the e-tron was called back in the days, is not even really competition anymore, as it's clearly inferior but cost more. Not a good combination, especially as we see Audi is hardly ramping up EVs, but this year the Model Y will do some real damage to Audi's sales numbers here in Europe and the world, as the Model Y showed in 2022 it's one of the most wanted cars on the planet, and in 2023 Tesla will probably make something about 60% more of them. Yeah, we are going to see the old guys bleed in 2023 on their ICE business and fall even further behind Tesla in the EV race, while Tesla will gain and overtake some of the big boys in the industry on their car sales. Audi for sure, but depending on how much Tesla is able to scale and how much the others' ICE business will fall, Tesla could also beat Mercedes and maybe even BMW. No matter what, this will be a year that will go down in history in so many ways. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.